What's up, everybody? It's AB here.
And it's your girl Nevaeh.
If you're new here,
welcome. And if you're not,
welcome back. Hey.
You with this A? What is this, Thriller? No. Alright, guys. Straight down to business. If you ain't done it already, just subscribe. Just subscribe. Like, self-love is the best love. We're here to spread positivity and mental wealth.
And mental awareness as well.
That too.
Hey.
Cause what are you gonna do?
What you gonna do with all that junk? With the business of all my crimes.
Stop the cap.
The only crime I committed was breaking hearts.
Stop the cap.
Guys.
So, you already know what the show's about if you haven't already seen it. We're about self-love, self-care, giving out that mental awareness so that we can be wealthy mentally.
Yes, you can always have financial wealth, but mental health gets you to financial wealth.
It actually does, because if you're not mentally ready and together, then how are you going to get your situations together? How are you going to get life together in general?
And also, just like, be happy with who you are.
Sometimes you just have to accept the things that you do. If you can't accept yourself, how are you going to have somebody else accept you? How are you going to actually love somebody else as well? So guys, let us know. I want you to leave likes, comments, subscribe, share this stuff. Tell us how you feel about it.
Likes are important. We need likes so other people can get this spiritual and mental and self-loving wealth too.
Yeah.
Not just you.
Heck yeah. So let us know, and we'll catch you guys in a little bit, alright?
Yeah.
Happy Talk Tuesdays, everybody. It's your brother from another mother.
And your sister from another mister, because
you know Papa was a rolling stone. Hey.
You know what, guys? We ain't talked about it in a minute.
Yeah, we gotta talk about it.
So, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're gonna be talking about friendships that end up going their separate ways or separate ideas, and friendship breakups. With these, that we have a tendency to forget that even though we have separate goals in life that we want to do, and it doesn't correlate with a friend of ours that we care about, we don't tend to walk away from them because we don't want to lose that friendship or that bond, or we think that we're going to lose that friendship or bond because of it. And then the reverse effect of that is when we have people that are in our circle that we consider friends who are on a bad track that can harm our future careers that we're trying to go for, or our future lifestyles, and we have to learn how to let those people go. And
see, the thing is, friendship breakups are just as
bad as a relationship.
Hurtful as just a non-platonic relationship, a physical relationship. Relationship like this. Y'all know what I mean. They can be very hard, because like AB said earlier, sometimes, these friendship breakups are very hurtful because these might be people that you might know for 5, 10, 15 years, or maybe it was your best friend, or maybe it was someone that you grew up with from kindergarten, and, like, you guys are going your separate ways. But at the same time, you also have to understand, like, as you get older, you have different values.
Yep.
You pick up different habits. You are interested in other things.
And you change to become a different person.
That too. And the biggest one is you start to lose interest in some of the things that you used to like. And maybe some things that you didn't like before, you might start to like them when you get older.
It's true. Because we change throughout the years, and we have different values, like she said earlier, that as we get older. And the issue is, sometimes it's hard to let somebody go because you've known them for so long, Sometimes it's hard to let them go because you felt like that y'all was gonna be together forever. And in reality, just like there's no such thing as perfect, there's no such thing as forever.
Oh, of course.
No such thing as eternity. And eventually good things must come to an end. But how you go about it is what can cause a lot of issues down the line. When you go through some emotional trials and you feel like the friendship that you have built with somebody or the relationship that you built with somebody has been going on for so long, like they've been there for you at your trouble times, you've been there for them, and then like as you transition into this new part of life, like I want to be a doctor or I want to go and travel to a new state and start all over again, you have to learn to say to the people that you care about, like, hey, look, I appreciate y'all, but I gotta go. This is not the place I'm supposed to be. It's time for me to go somewhere else.
A difficult, transition for your friendships, especially when you're leaving from high school to college. Because, well, one, some of these people that you are, when you're going to college, you're probably going to an out-of-state college or whatever it is, and you might end up not even talking to the people who you were really close with, and it's not even more so that you don't care, it's just more so like you have more priorities are different. You have more responsibility, and I feel like sometimes people feel like they are neglected with their friendships, but you have to understand that we're human. Everyone's human, and the older you get, the less time of day you can give someone than you could before because you have less responsibilities, and the more responsibilities you have, the less time you have for other people, even for yourself sometimes. And I mean, like I have, my best friends, like sometimes I might not talk to them for like maybe a week or two, or sometimes it can even be months, and we're not sitting here like bashing each other like, oh, you don't talk to me at all, or this is not, because we understand that at the end of the day, we're adults, and some of them have kids, some don't. Majority of my friends do have kids, so I'm the only one pretty much out of my friends that really don't have kids, except for you. The older you become, the more things you realize what are important and what's not important. And for those friends who feel that you need to give them all your time, all your attention, and everything, like, and if they can't understand like what you're going through, then even if you've known them for 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years, all your life, if you gotta let them go, you gotta let them go. But that's because that's the best interest for you. That's what works for you. And maybe this person who feels that you need to be there for them all the time just can't fit in your life,
Yeah, I can agree upon that because, like, okay, for me, the best example I can give, because I have many friends who are, know that I disappeared for quite some time. Like, I've been gone for longer than weeks. I've been gone for months. Sometimes I've been gone for like over a year. And it's because like the goal that I'm reaching towards, I have to put that above everything else. Sometimes there was even times where I had 2 jobs, and it was just like once I wake up, it's like off to one job. As soon as I finish that one, it was like on to the next one, and then by the time I get home, everybody's asleep, so I'm just up doing my thing, and then like I pass out and wake up and I gotta go do the next thing the next day. It was like an everyday thing. When I changed my priorities on what was important to me in those moments, it's because I'm trying to get myself situated. There was even times where I'm going through like very emotional moments, I'm going through a life struggle, or I'm just experiencing things for myself. And I don't wish to speak to my friends at that current point in my life because I would like if I can get it together before I see them, because it's better if I tell you the story, like the aftermath, like, girl, boy, I can't wait to tell you what happened to me and da 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 da. Like, it was crazy. And because when I talk about it in the moment, like I'm still going through the emotion, and it's not healthy for me to think that way while I'm trying to explain to somebody what I'm going through, because I already know how I'm supposed to handle it and how I'm supposed to get it done. By the time I come back, I'll have stories for you. Because the thing is, you spend so much time with the same people every day, all day, that you lose things to talk about. And you get bored after some point because now everybody's on their phones or on their devices, and we're all just laughing at the same thing. Oh, look at this meme, or look at this thing, and and it's like, give yourself time and space so that when the time comes for you guys to come back together, each person has something to talk about, and not pretty much the same thing, and like they care in that moment, even though they are bored. And the best part about that is you're letting your friend understand that while you guys are away, this is an ample opportunity to get whatever they thought about getting done. Actually completing goals, doing stuff that they've been wanting to do for years. Some people want to start a family. Some people want to get on their career. Some people want to go to college and get themselves started.
Some people want to travel.
Yeah. Like, there are things that we want to do, but if we spend all of our time and money on the people that we surround ourselves with all the time, then we lose focus. And this is just my perspective, but we lose focus on what our priorities could be in these moments.
You know what else it is that like friendship breakups do hurt a lot, but at the same time, like at least whether it's you breaking up with your friend or your friend breaking up with you, at least you don't have that burden of trying to keep that relationship going. If it was already falling off the hinges too. You know, and not just that, it helps clear your mental. You feel a lot free. You feel, maybe you probably feel like you can go and do the things that you've been wanting to do because you've probably just been holding off because of your friend or whatever the case is. And it's just satisfying for you because you know, like, I don't have to deal with, you know, this anymore. Kind of sort of thing.
Yeah, because like the other thing too, and I know this is another, like we're going to get into it later, but I just want to touch upon it. You know how like a stranger does something to you and you nip it in the bud right then and there?
Yeah, because you don't know, but if someone does something to you. It's your
friend, you let them get away with that. And that's, to me, hypocrisy. The reason why there could be friendship breakups, because you let your friends do things to you that you wouldn't let a complete stranger do to you. And in my opinion, that is not okay. Because if you should treat everybody equally across the board, friend or foe. Because if, say like you can build a friendship with someone that you don't know and they see how you treat your friends the same way that you treat other people, and it's like they can make that decision on whether or not they want to be in a relationship or friendship or any kind of type of balance with you. And if that doesn't work out, then they can move on and go about their day. It's a trivial or something that could be a lot of baggage. And when you hold on to that and you don't express that to your friend, sometimes you do other stuff to spite, and either you don't realize it or your friend will. And at that point, are you sure that you guys are friends well enough to let the petty stuff be put to the side and just say how you feel, or are you going to continue to hold back your tongue?
You know what else it is? Sometimes it's jealousy.
Yeah.
Or it could be people making up scenarios and not even really having a full knowledge of what things are.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
You know, especially if you don't, like, let's say hypothetically you and I don't talk for a week and I'm like, I've been calling you, whatever, and I'm just like, why didn't you return my calls? Why didn't you this, that? Like, I could be making up whole scenarios about you the whole time. Like, AB doesn't want to be my friend no more. AB don't like me. AB don't this that. The whole time, maybe you're probably going through something, and because you didn't call me back, now I'm cussing you out. Oh, you this is not like you know like I'm now talking bad about you, but the whole time maybe you probably got into a car accident, or you could have, or maybe something happened to one of your family members, or you know, you just don't want to talk to me. So now I'm lashing out on you because I don't understand. And then you come to me like 2 weeks later, like, I can't believe you talk to me like that. You don't know what's going on with me. Now I already have created a scenario in my head. I don't even know what the f*** is going on. And Now I'm about to get treated and possibly lose a good friend just because overthinking and not even knowing what's happening and overanalyzing the situation. And sometimes we lose friends due to jealousy because sometimes your friends, you think that they're for you, but they're not, and they see everything that you're doing and they want what you have. And that can cause a rift too because they want to be better than you, or they want to be noticed, or they want to be the one, or they want to be the it person. They don't always want to be in the shadow, but that's not your fault why they're in the shadow unless you're intentionally putting them in the shadow every time.
That is correct. And need to open up the gap. Say something like something about your friend bothers you, and you keep it to yourself, and then you start doing stuff to them just to be spiteful. That is not a healthy way to approach a situation. You have to speak upon it. Like, even if you have a crush on your friend, my opinion is you need to say it. Because
tell them whether they like you back or not. Tell them. That's part of communication. That's part of your friendship. If this is your friend and you're really close and y'all got a really good bond, you should be able to talk to them about anything.
Yep.
No matter what it is.
All the time, every time.
Exactly. Definitely.
But we've been touching upon this for quite some time. Let us know in the comment section below how you feel about it. Let us know, like, have you ever had any of those experiences? DM us in our ABX Nevaeh on our Instagram. Make sure you guys take well good care of yourselves. Try to think of ways to be more positive. Try not to overthink too much about situations in a friendship. Sometimes you just need to sit back, relax, think about yourself for a moment and see what your priorities are and move forward in your life. Regardless of who's with you or leaves you. Know that the person that you were with and the person that you're trying to become can always change, and that's not always a bad thing. That just means that you're moving forward in life.
I mean, also, not just that, you guys have to understand that just because you have a friendship breakup with your friend, that doesn't mean that it's the end all be all. Sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes it's what y'all need. Sometimes it might probably take years or months, maybe weeks for you guys to ever talk again, if you ever talk again. But it's okay if you don't. And sometimes it's okay just to love some people from a distance. With no harsh feelings. And believe me when I say, just because you are no longer friends with someone, that does not mean that you are beefing. And that's the problem. So many people be like, oh, we ain't friends no more because they did something to me. Or maybe they didn't, maybe nothing happened between y'all, and maybe they just don't feel the same connection they had with you before. That doesn't mean that you're beefing. That doesn't mean that they don't like you. That doesn't mean that you don't like them. Sometimes things just end just because there is no connection anymore. And that's okay. That's okay. But guess what though? Guess what? You can always get another friend. Maybe you might not get another friend that's like them, but you might probably find someone that's better than them. So just because you lose one person doesn't mean that it's a lost cause forever. You might probably get someone way better than they ever were.
Yeah, that's the truth. All right.
And on that,
peace. Wait, where are you going?
Show me here.
For what?
I told you. Put some more lipstick on.
She don't need no more lipstick. We literally in the middle of a video.
That I can understand that, especially like, you know, from high school to college, a lot of people might have lost friends. It's been one today trying to record. Like, first we had the Boulder neighbors upstairs. Now we got, then there was ambulance earlier. Now it's like the motorcycle car sounded like it's farting down the street and like, God, like, can we just record? We need the likes so other people can having technical difficulties. Titties.
Apparently. Mine left me a long time ago.
We're having technical difficulties. You know, moments that I didn't need them, I could just put them to the side. It's like, if I'm just sitting chilling in the house, I don't need my breast right now.
That's more like being a drag queen.
Well, the difference is, Mine are real.
That's why I can't be attached. Anyway.